This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming at you with another video. In this video, I am going to go over several topics. The first one is going to be Cynthia G. The second one is going to be the criticism for the men and the young boys that were dressed up in suits at the event. The third topic is a lady that refused to go on a date with a man that took her to the Cheesecake Factory. And the fourth thing that I want to talk about is a little bit about these celebrity breakups, especially Will and Jada. So let's begin with the first topic, which is Cynthia G. Now, she has been on here saying some very terrible things about black men for a long time, for a number of years. And it was described by her as being black woman empowerment. And I don't see anything empowering to black women by bashing and just belittling black men, even the black men that are trying to be better in life and to improve their lives. But you still want to give these negative labels to them. You still want to talk down to them. You still want to say all this stuff, this misandrous stuff that's further hurting the community and not helping the community. And she was recently demonetized. Now, in my opinion, it was way overdue. As soon as she got the idea to say out of her mouth that black women should abort black male babies, she should have been demonetized right then and there. However, it took so long and so many complaints for her to finally get demonetized. Now, I understand how it is. Some people depend on those YouTube checks in order to survive out here. And so, somebody losing their livelihood, I'm not going to celebrate that. But at the same time, if you have such a negative rhetoric that's coming out of your mouth, you have this lowbrow opinion about a certain group of people where you think that these certain group of men should just be destroyed and alienated, even the ones that are doing their best, that's trying hard, that's hardworking, that you still don't respect, and you sit up there and you say that these men should just be demolished and annihilated. I don't feel sorry for you losing your monetization on your channel, and it should have happened a lot sooner. And I'm not happy with how long it took because YouTube usually ignore the pleas of the men, especially the black men, about the negative rhetoric that's going on. A lot of these systems don't care about the negative rhetoric that are aimed towards the so-called black man. That's how you have certain professors such as Brittany Cooper that's able to keep her job with her misandrous ideologies that she spreads. And yes, I am going to stand firm on my opinions and I'm going to speak out against what I feel isn't right. And another thing that I didn't feel right about, and this is next topic, it was a group of men, a big group of men that were at a convention. And it wasn't just men, it was young men, boys too, at this convention. And all of them wore suits. All of them were carrying themselves with class, with dignity, with respect. A lot of these men were business owners, were advocates of the community that actually did things within the community. And yet you had a bunch of women. Some of them hopped online with bonnets on to openly criticize these men as saying, oh, they're just standing around doing nothing in suits. You know, what are they doing for the community? What businesses do they own? How much money do they have? Just because they're dressed nice and have this image, what are they doing? What are they doing? You know, just questioning them and assuming the worst about these men without understanding what was going on. And if these same men and these same young men, these boys, were out here with their pants sagging, with a gun in their hand, with a blunt in their mouth, a lot of these women wouldn't have said one word about that negative image that has been portrayed by those men that these so-called gangster rappers out here portray. A lot of them want their men to be like that negative image. And so when they see a man trying to change the narrative about the image and the ideas that most of people in society have about them, they are going to try to tear it up because they don't want change like that. They don't want to see the men better themselves. And so instead of focusing on the negative, I want to focus on the positive. And I want to say to those men that were out there dressing nice, that were out there doing a thing, I want to say, continue doing you. You know, don't let the negative rhetoric of these women or these simp B made men, and you know what the B stands for, don't let them deter you from what it is that you need to do in order to present yourself and your community in the best image possible. Now, the reason why it touched me and it triggered me because I can honestly say that there were times in my life when I was out here doing things for the community, spending my time, my effort, my energy to help the community. Also, I was going around dressing up in suits to show a positive image. I tried to start a business. It failed, but I still at least made the attempt. And I did all these things and I got crapped on very bad. And I was publicly humiliated. You see, I'm still getting over that, but I haven't forgotten what happened. And it's one of the reasons why I developed myself to the point to where I'm able to speak out and express myself the way that I express myself, regardless of what anybody has to say. You see, it motivated me to get better. It motivated me to not care about holding up a certain image. As long as I'm doing the best that I can for myself, that's what matters the most. And if I want to dress in a suit, if I want to help out others in the community, I will do so. And I'm not seeking outside validation because whenever you do things uh, expecting any type of acknowledgement, any validation, most of the times you're going to be disappointed. Just like I'm disappointed in those women, especially the ones that hopped online with their bonnets on, hardly being able to breathe, ain't did nothing within the community at all in their lives, critiquing and harshly criticizing these men. But those men, they put out a public display of positive black male image, and I applaud them. And this runs me into the next topic, which is the woman that tried to publicly shame a man who was trying to take her on a date. It was their first date. And he was trying to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. He had a more expensive restaurant in mind, but she held up the time and they didn't make their reservations. And instead of being appreciative of being given food that was going to be for free for her, she wanted to act like a snob and she ended up going back home with no meal and no date, period. And to the man that did that, I want to applaud you for standing up for yourself. I want to applaud you for creating boundaries for what you will and you will not tolerate. I want to applaud you for displaying the calm, cool, and collectiveness that needed to be displayed in order to show that men do not have to take this BS off of women like this. Because honestly, men in general, we are starting to get tired of it. I'm tired of trying to keep up with the Joneses to impress somebody who don't like me anyway. I'm tired of trying to spend my hard-earned money on some woman that's still going to say that I'm broke and I'm dusty, that's still going to look at me like I'm a loser because I'm showing her interest, even though she hasn't shown me any interest, and I'm going out of my way. And she says that she wants men to go out of their way and show interest, but the ones that actually do, she doesn't want because she already in her mind knows what type of men that she wants. And she wants those men to do the things that you're doing for her, but she can't get that. So she settles for you, even though she uses you for your time, money, energy, and attention. She's still going to give the box to the man that she actually wants to give it to. And that's the harsh reality that we all have to face out here. And with that being said, she didn't even deserve Cheesecake Factory. She deserved Applebee's. Now, to the last topic that I want to talk about is the disrespect that Jada Pickett has been showing for Will Smith. And a part of me feels sorry for Will Smith. But then a part of me is like, no, this dude has been a jackass as well. We all saw what he did to Chris Rock. And then we also heard stories about how he treated other comedians such as Tommy Davidson. And with that being said, sometimes you need a hard, swift kick in the butt to make a correction in your life. Even I've had to go through things in my life that was negative to get me corrected on certain actions that I was doing. And I had to take accountability. And you see, one thing that Mr. Smith didn't want to take accountability for is picking wrong. You see, yes, Jada Pickett is very fine. Like back in the day when Jason's lyric came out, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my God, this woman right here, that Jason's lyric version of Jada Pickett, woo, that was wonderful. But with that being said, it's not about that. It's not always about the beauty, even though beauty is important. But if she don't have the cooperative spirit and attitude along with that, along with the friendliness, along with the femininity to go with it, it's going to be terrible. And it has been terrible for him for a long time. And who knows what else they both have been doing behind closed doors with other people or with each other. Who knows? It's none of my business. But publicly, the way that she has been displaying her disdain for him with these subliminal jabs, I feel bad for him because he doesn't have a prenup. And they already said they wasn't going to get divorced, so he's stuck with her for the rest of his life. Even though they might not be living together, he still has that cloud over his head that he's married. And then we see other examples of this, like Remy Ma with Papoose. And I don't want to delve deep into that. You know, I've had my own experiences with marriage and how difficult it can be. And I don't want to throw my ex wife under the bus. But one thing that I've learned is that sometimes people are not marriageable material. Sometimes that could be temporary. Sometimes that could be for a lifetime. You're just not marriage material for life. Sometimes you just need to work on yourself and improve yourself and become the best version of yourself in order to become marriageable material. And it's up to you to figure it out what you are and be honest with yourself. I'm talking about totally honest with yourself. So situations like this won't occur in your life personally. So you won't go around having children with people that you don't like or that don't like you, or trying to force people and pressure people into being in a relationship with you, even though you know in your heart that that person doesn't look at you in that way. And I'm not trying to beat up on the women. I'm not trying to beat up on the men, but I'm just being honest. And honesty is certainly lacking in the communication within the community. And certain people don't want to be honest about certain things. Like women don't want to be honest about what they really find attractive, who they really find attractive, what type of attitudes, what type of looks they really find attractive. And then men, on the other hand, are shamed sometimes when we be honest about what we really want or what we really find attractive. And this needs to stop on both ends. Women don't need to be shamed either. Men don't need to be shamed. And if people need to travel and move around, which I am a total advocate for anybody, male or female, to travel, figure out what it is that you want in your life, meet new people, be in different environments, enjoy different cultures, so you can figure out what it is that you exactly want and really experience life, so you can get ready for the person that is for you to do so. But if you don't find certain women attractive, you shouldn't have to hide that. And people shouldn't try to force feed you or pressure you or gaslight you into doing it. You shouldn't have to be going through ostracism for it. And if women want to stick up and defend themselves against certain stereotypes, they shouldn't be bullied into being silent. How is going on? If you don't like a certain image that's out there, you should be able to express that you don't like it without being ostracized or bullied into liking it. And I'm coming with sincerity when I say all this. You see, I'm at the point in my life where I want to say a lot more of how I really feel. But I know that I have a life outside of these YouTube streets, and I have to be careful with what it is that I'm saying. But with what I'm saying right now, you understand that I'm very sincere and very real with what I'm saying, because I believe in the Most High. The Most High has given me wisdom to use. And also, I understand that with this wisdom, it comes responsibility. And I have to understand the current climate that I live in. And I have to keep quiet about certain things, even though I have to let it be known in certain ways. So, with that being said, this is just Bob Bowman. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.